want to ask Professor Leonard again, because I know you had experience of working in China before, right? So I believe, because I used to work in the States and also experience of studying in UK, also actually in Cambridge. So I know like the approach that parents took, or most of the parents took in the UK, in the States, in China, are very different. So let's just say if you could name one thing or two things of the things that are about so different about Chinese parenting when you work here, what would that be?
Okay. Before I answer that question, I'd like to say something about Dr. Liu, if I might, because I know his two daughters.
Yeah.
And one thing that I find is very impressive, I talk about these issues. Dr. Liu, who was trained in physics, actually decided to start a school and now has 8 campuses. So he really is, if you will, putting his money where his mouth is. So it's very impressive that,
I understand,
that he's done that. Differences, parenting or fathering between China and the U.S. Well, first let me say something that's similar, and that is, I think, in both countries, there's evolution. There's fathers are evolving into being more involved with their children, and that's interesting because that requires, we talk about parents like my father, of course, who just really focused totally on his career. But fathers now, not to take anything away from my dad, but and his generation, but fathers now really have to be pretty well rounded, because not only do we think about our career, we also have to buy diapers, at the grocery store, and so we're thinking of a lot of things. So I think in both countries, there's an evolutionary nature to fatherhood. And I'm struggling to find a difference right now, because I do think that in my experience, you mentioned past 15 to 20 years that fathers have become more involved. That's a relatively new thing when you think about the course of history. And so I do think that we are kind of in the middle as fathers of learning how to be more involved. Learning how to be, Dr. You mentioned being a role model, learning how to be role models. There's a lot of, I don't want to say pathologies, but there's some baggage that fathers carry, that men carry.
Exactly.
Wanting to be tough and not show weakness and that kind of thing. Well, that's not good for a father. A father needs to be a more authentic person, showing a range of emotions. So not only are we evolving in terms of our skills as fathers, but we are evolving as men. And, it's no small thing. It's no small thing to take on.
Right, it's a small thing. But yeah, I really agree with you. What about Mr. Li? So how's the way that you deal with your daughter? Are you a tiger dad, or you're just like a really nice and kind dad who spoil your daughter all the time?
I think I'm quite between what you said. I'm not a tiger dad, but like also a little bit strict to my daughter.
That is because you're a teacher, you're a professional, or you just it's just you have very high expectations for your daughter, just like every other father. So why is that?
I think I'm quite like the other fathers. I don't spoil my my daughter, but I wish my daughter could grow with within herself. I mean, anything she would like to do, then I will support her, and I will just
anything.
Yeah.
Is there something that you wouldn't be supportive? Is it like, Dad, I want to go, I don't know, I want to go like climbing a mountains, or I wanted to learn something really risky? You'll be supportive as well?
Well, anything like reasonable. I mean, anything.
Okay.
Reasonable. Grow, and I will support her.
For instance, is there something that is a little bit out of your expectation, like that surprised you a little bit, but still you're like, okay, you can go, I support you? Is there something? Give us an example.
Oh, there's a very good example. Like to little girls, there are very less girls would like to learn Chinese kung fu. But my little daughter said one day to me, like, Dad, I want to learn Chinese kung fu. I said, okay, but why? Like she told me, it's very interesting, and then she's interested in it. I said, okay, then we can, learn it. We can just go to the classes, and then just give it a try. And then she likes Chinese kung fu more better than ballet.
Okay.
Well, it's okay. Like anything you like, I will support you. Like you have interest, then we can learn it. We can do it together even.